Hello. Hello, everybody. My name is Gabby Isabel. Hopefully, everybody can hear me just fine coming through on the speakers. Uh, we just finished a director's meeting. Sorry for the few minutes delay on getting started with our volunteer meeting. Um, okay, so we've got, okay, good. It looks like everybody can hear me. Excellent. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us for our second CONpossible 2025 volunteer meeting. We are talking about travel beyond the veil. This convention is going to be held February 7th to the 9th at the Sonesta Gwinnett Place, Atlanta. That's on Pleasant Hill Road in Duluth. It is your standard Friday to Sunday convention. We're just going to go over quick few details about the show for new volunteers who may have not joined us or been to the hotel before. And then we're going to have a couple of our other directors pop in and just give you some notes on some needs for volunteers at CONpossible this year. So if you are watching in our Discord server, please feel free to ask any questions in the general chat room. That way that I can see them and we can answer them live on camera for you guys. If you are watching straight on our YouTube stream, then you can leave a comment for us there for later and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. So once again, I'm Gabby Isabel. I am the chairperson for this event. Travel Beyond the Veil will be our second annual convention. We had our first convention in February of 2024, where we went to the jungles of Venus. And so now we are traveling beyond the veil. We have a semi-immersive storyline that follows us from convention to convention, being that we are a semi-immersive convention. So that means that when you show up at opening ceremonies, you're going to get a little bit of a plot line about the mysterious inhabitants of Terminus Manor. Terminus Manor is the wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey castle on the hill that can take anybody who comes and visits to anywhere throughout time and or space. So Travel Beyond the Veil will cover everything from Victorian mysticism. We'll talk about tarot. We'll talk about mythology. We'll talk about death cultures throughout the ages. We'll talk about speculative fiction and anything and everything alternative history. So once again, the main details for that is February 7th to the 9th, 2025 at the Sonesta Gwinnett Place, Atlanta. The Sonesta Gwinnett Place is located right off of 85. It has free parking. It's a pretty nice little hotel to go to. Our highlights for the year, our programming hours will begin registration at noon on Friday. And then soft programming will begin at 2 p.m. on Friday. Soft programming basically means just a few things here and there. We'll have our vendor hall, we'll have our gaming hall, we'll have a couple other little panels and programs throughout the afternoon. Opening ceremonies, I believe, will begin at 5 p.m. I believe we moved it up an hour, and I will have Jason confirm once I pull him into the stream. We will have programming until late with our Friday night formal, the Danza de Corbeau, which is the Dance of the Crows. We'll have a little crow party beforehand where people can exchange shiny objects and trinkets with each other. And then Atlanta Historic Dance, which is a wonderful dance crew here in the greater Atlanta area, will be teaching everyone historical dance moves and routines. We'll do the dance long into the evening and then open it up to a dance party for the later night crowd. Saturday, programming will begin again at 10 a.m. That means registration will open at 9:30 Saturday. And some of our programming highlights on Saturday will include the United Lyceum Theater Music Hall Review, which we'll hear a little bit more about in just a moment. That's our big headlining evening event. We will, of course, have some of your favorite contests from other years of the convention: parasol dueling, teapot racing, tea dueling. We will do our fan favorite karaoke in the late night evening. And of course, all of the lovely workshops that you've come to know and love, some of them themed for this year's convention. I know that we're going to be doing tea blendings, we're going to be doing mask making, and other sorts of fun little workshops, chainmail, etc. So we've got a lot on the docket for this year. Sunday programming will begin at 10 a.m. again, kind of soft. We'll do most of our programming around 11, and everything is going to end by 6 p.m. on Sunday. So our last event of the weekend will be our closing ceremonies, 5 p.m. on Sunday evening. Um, so if you've never been a part of our convention before, you might be wondering what makes it different, what stands out from other cons. One of the big items of our convention, that's kind of the heart and soul of our show, is our tea room. So what is a tea room? Well, it's a little bit like a con suite, but a little bit extra. The tea room is a kind of like a full-fledged cafe that will run all weekend long, serving unlimited teas and snacks. It is a la carte ticket, but if you are a volunteer with us, you get access to the tea room complimentary for the entire weekend. What other benefits might you get for volunteering with us? Well, of course, you get access to the convention. If you are a first-year volunteer, we ask for a minimum of 12 hours of volunteer hours, and your badge will be a first-year cost of $20. That $20 covers your volunteer badge going forward, which means if you come back, you do second, third year, you get your badge for absolutely free. It covers everything that's included with a regular general admission badge, and a little bit extra. All volunteers will get one of our exclusive year pins, lapel pins. As I mentioned, you'll get access to that tea room for snacks and beverages all weekend long. You'll be thrown a special dead dog party on Sunday night just to say thank you for volunteering with us and all of the effort that you put into the show. And you'll probably get a little bit extra in the swag department as well. We like to spoil our volunteers in as much as we possibly can. But I do think that above and beyond everything else, everybody loves the tea room most of all. I'm going to be pulling in our tea room director here in a little bit. He hasn't joined the stream just yet. Oh, actually, he just did join. So if he's prepared, I'll let him signal to me if he's ready to say a little bit about the tea room, or if I need to circle back to him a little bit later. Okay. Just getting all situated.
Yeah, I had to mute the stream unless we wanted a feedback loop. We don't want that. It's not helpful for anyone. Hi. Yes, I'm talking about the team room, right? Sorry, getting everything fixed real quick was an ordeal. Hello, my name's Jeremiah. I also go by the T-Czar or Maya. I'll be running the tea room. I am the main tea captain, the heart and soul of the tea room, if you will. And I'm the one who basically organizes everything, sets it up, tears it down, and sees to it that everyone in there is fully prepared to help out. It's a very easy role in terms of what we ask of you. We have 3 positions. We have a door person who's just basically making sure that people coming in have their badge, are supposed to be in the tea room, and that people are not leaving with drinks, because the hotel specifically does not want anything to leave the tea room. That is a standard thing for hotels. And then the other 2 roles is basically a float. So there's a person who's kind of there to fill in wherever needed. If the person that's at the door needs to use the restroom, they can fill in for that. If I need somebody to run and grab somebody or pop into the vendor room, they're going to do things like that. So if they're not doing that, they're going to be assisting the actual person behind the tea room table with us, and that'll be the third role. And basically, you're just serving tea. Very simple. It's ready to go, hot. Dispense is real easy, and then you'll be utilizing gloves and tongs to serve fresh food to the guests. So, again, it's a very simple role. We try to keep it fun. We try to keep it stress free, and of course, you get to drink as much tea as you want, and you also get to have snacks. So it's a win-win. That's all I got.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if anybody is interested in volunteering for the tea room this year, you can absolutely fill out a little volunteer application. I put the link up on the screen, but if you are on our event page, or you should be able to find a clickable link as well. That's the 2025 volunteer application. You can just let folks know if you're interested in helping out in the tea room with our lovely tea captain, Maya. Just to put under, I believe it's hospitality, food and beverage as one of the departments that you're interested in volunteering with. Thanks for popping in, Jeremiah, letting us know a little bit more about the tea room and how it operates. And of course, there's all the fun stuff too that you could talk about, like the specialty teas and the bobas and stuff. But that's up to you.
Look, you can tell I'm not a public speaker. Okay, so for the actual main tea room, we have a rotation of teas. We are going to have all of the CONpossible blends as we do every year. That way we get to showcase them, as well as also get to share them. They're a lot of fun. If you haven't had them before, we have a Jaffa cake tea, which is based off of the English cookie cake kind of. It's a biscuit. I don't know. The British can't make up their mind what it wants to be, but it's delicious. It's chocolate. It's orange. Hints of vanilla. It's a lovely tea. It honestly tastes more like a Jaffa cake than Jaffa cake itself does. Then we have Captain Bill's grog, which is basically our variation of a grog made into a tea. That one's a little bit hard to explain. You'd have to give it a try, but it's got a lot of depth. It's a very fun one. Last year we brought in the Venusian wine. That is a caffeine-free option. It is a lovely burgundy color. Very citrusy, very fruit heavy, and if you add a little bit of lemon juice, the color changes. It's a lot of fun. And this year, we will be bringing in the morning cuppa, which is our take on a death in the afternoon cocktail. So you're going to have an absinthe and kind of wine flavored tea. It's really well balanced, and I'm not just saying that because I blended it. It's really well balanced, and it's a very unique take on the absinthe flavor pairing. So outside of that, we'll have a variety of snacks. That's a little bit too deep to get into, but I will say that we rotate throughout the day so that there's a breakfast / brunch style food item. There's lunch, and then there's kind of more of a heavier dinner style items for everyone. And lastly, as mentioned, we will have boba tea, the ever so popular boba tea. The boba tea is a extra cost, but it does come in a really fun light bulb bottle. If you were at the show last year, you might remember these. They sold out quick. I mean, like, we ran out of the bottles the first day. So we'll have more this year. We still may run out, but you got to get in where you fit in. But we will have 4 flavors of syrup. Oh, excuse me. We'll actually have 5 flavors of syrup this year, and 4 flavors of pearls. The reason I'm getting a 5th flavor is because I have a secret plan. If it works out, it will work very well with one of the pearls and one of the syrups. So that is to be announced as the experiment goes on. So But yeah, and we have some jumping tunes, of course, and a chill space.
Um, Chill space is very important. We love that. So you will be running late night hours again this year, correct?
Correct. We'll be running till midnight, Friday evening, Saturday evening. We would run till midnight on Sunday evening, but you might kill me.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that that's gonna be possible,
Yeah,
sadly. But I know from last year's dead dog party that we ended up with all of the leftovers from the tea room at the dead dog party. So technically, we kind of do run till midnight ish.
you're right. Have some babosas.
Babosas, yes. Don't tell the kids about the babosas.
I don't know what you're talking.
Uh, all right, awesome. Thanks for jumping in, Jeremiah, talking a little bit about the tea room.
Thanks for
Um,
having me.
so uh, I am going to move us forward to other things that you can expect this year. If you have been following our social media or you joined us at our last volunteer meeting, you're aware that we have some guests of honor this year. We're very pleased to welcome as our author guest of honor Gail Carriger, who is the author of the Parasol Protectorate series. She will be coming and talking a little bit about that. And soon to be announced, we have our artist guest of honor, Paul Hall, who is an Asheville artist, Asheville, North Carolina. As a lot of us are very well aware, Asheville just got hit by Hurricane Helene, among other areas that were pretty severely struck by the hurricane. The River Arts District was one area in the Asheville region that got hit very hard. And so we wanted to highlight an Asheville artist this year. He will be doing our badge art and our program art. We're very excited about it, and he will be highlighted in our artists area as well as our little charity auction area. He's going to have some items up for display as well. That brings us to our charity. So last year, our charity was Lost and Found Youth. We raised about $1,000 for Lost and Found Youth last year. This year, our chosen charity is Holler to Holler, and that is providing long term relief aid for Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, parts of Georgia, and South Carolina that were affected by Hurricane Helene. So those of you who might have already been doing little donations on the website, those of you who are interested in the charity auction for this year, where that is our chosen charity for 2025. We're very excited about it, and we're very much looking forward to this year's event and hopefully raising more money for a very good cause. uh, so, in addition to our guests of honor, we have a lot of other programming on the docket and programming needs. Um, I'm going to hopefully pull in one of our programming directors, the Chameleon, who will be running our big Saturday night events as well as our culture and lifestyles track. So I'm going to go ahead. We had some issues with Wi-Fi earlier, but hopefully they're resolved. And welcome the Chameleon to the stream.
We both muted and unmuted my mic, so yay. Um, go us for
Professional.
doing the professional sound check thing, making sure everything is right and good to go for us, and no one is stepping on anyone's speaking toes. So yeah, we have the culture and lifestyles track, which I co-direct with Eddie, who probably some of y'all have known through the years at other conventions, was also my co last year. Um, so basically, what we do, we're not just lifestyles, we are about culture. We like to investigate further.
A little Wi-Fi hiccup. Oh dear. Let's see. Well, we're having just a slight hiccup on Meredith, unfortunately. I was a little bit worried about that. Um, so I will um, have them pop back in once we have resolved their Wi-Fi issues and tell us a little bit more. It looks like they're just restarting their connection. Um, uh, all right. So until Meredith is able to join us again, I will talk a little bit more about um, that programming, um, uh, what we've got in store for this year. Sorry, I was not prepared for this. So last year, our 2024 convention, we did over 120 panels, and we had over 64 presenters. And we're in a slightly larger hotel this year than we were last year, so we're expecting those numbers maybe to be a little bit more robust. Um, we are adding a couple things to our convention that we did not have last year that we got some feedback on, or stuff that we did that people wanted to see more of. Um, one thing I wanted to highlight, being that we talked about the tea room as a late night alternative to some of the larger parties, is we're also going to have a screening room where we're going to be playing some vintage movies and some YouTube channels, some stuff very much in the theme for both Travel Beyond the Veil as well as alternative history in general. We have a gentleman bringing in an old-fashioned camera to play, old black and white movies, and we're gonna have a nice, like, quiet, chill space as part of our programming. Additionally, we will have access to a quiet room area for those who need to decompress during the show. And then, of course, all of the other programming rooms that you were familiar with from last year, like our Youth Academy for programming for kids under the age of 14 or, kids at heart. We've got our workshops, of course, that I mentioned earlier, as well as the convention-wide scavenger hunt, details to be released on site. We don't want to give anything away, but you'll hear more about that at opening ceremonies, as well as, of course, all the usual panels and fun stuff, the games that I mentioned, and so on. Looks like Meredith is back with us, so let's try this one more time.
Right. I'll try to make it like as fast as possible. We are the culture and lifestyles track. And sorry, y'all, I cannot be on several things at once because my phone is old. I know that that some of the directorship and others are on Discord. I can't do all of it at once because all of my stuff is so old. So please forgive me. I can only be on one thing at a time. Um, so we are the culture and lifestyles track. We do history. We do not just other cultures um, outside of our own. That is what I mean. So it's a very diverse track that likes to dive in and dig deep. Our Sunday highlights are the Brunch of Crimes, which we began actually as a previous incarnation at 11 o'clock because ourselves and the Grand Arbiter and Madame Askew were together at two panels back to back starting at 11 a.m. And we're just like, well, this is so very gay. It's brunch. We should be doing things at brunch. So we do that and offer up very queer centric happenings for those. Insofar as the show is concerned, the United Lyceum Theater is a music hall review, old school music hall review. Um, Drag, spoken word, dance, Victorian burlesque, which means sans peeling. So it is a bit more demure, if you will, as the kids are saying lately. So yeah, it's a great time, and we could also use a couple of hands. You would basically just for us, making sure that our guests are okay, that our performers are all right. I mean, we have a stagehand for that and everything. but also just sort of checking in with everyone, making sure that panels run on time, and coming back to us with any information, myself and Eddie. And sort of, I guess our second would be Declan. So yeah, there's that. It's a great time. We just absolutely love to share what we learn and keep going with that.
Awesome. So yes, if anybody's interested in joining Culture and Lifestyles track or the United Lyceum Theater Music Hall Review crew, that link then again is at the bottom of the screen to fill out the volunteer application. I am going to try and one of our head programming directors, Jason Merrill, to the stream. If my cat doesn't join first. Let's see. There we go.
There we go.
There you are. So Jason, tell us a little bit about programming this year and any needs that we might have.
Well, we always need folks to help, keep things running smoothly, make sure panels start and stop on time and everybody has what they need. As far as the programming itself, we've got our Dance de Corbeau, our Friday night formal, the Dance of the Crows. We do have our crow party ahead of that, where everybody can swap shinies, which should be a lot of fun. I am still in the process of adding all of the programming that's been submitted to our calendar. And it looks like we're probably going to touch the numbers we had last year with the number of events and presenters, probably even more, because I've got a lot of stuff I've got to try and fit into the spaces that we have available. We will have our traditional karaoke. Friday night, we will have another meeting of the Gothic Heroine Book Club. Yeah, it just we've got just a ton of stuff coming up. It's hard to mention absolutely everything, but we've got some fantastic media panels coming. We do have the obligatory Lovecraft 100th anniversary panel. We have our traditional mead making panel with a tasting later. We've got a bunch of folks that are bringing games to teach and present in conjunction with our traditional open gaming room. So it's going to be a weekend full of fantastic stuff to do and make. Circles will be returning to do her Gallifreyan language tutorials. Trying to think what else. I guess you mentioned we do have Brett coming with his magic lantern to do a magic lantern show.
Phantasmagoria.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to a lot of this stuff.
Absolutely. I am too. Very, very much so. And I know that we do have some programming departments that have needs, as Jason mentioned at the beginning. We always have needs for room monitors, folks who can come in and make sure that everything is running smoothly in the programming rooms, as well as some departments might need a couple extra hands on deck. I believe our Santa's workshop is looking for a couple folks to do instruct on workshops. So anybody who is interested in volunteering on the programming side of things, fill out that application. Definitely put your name in the hat and select main programming as your area that you might be interested in volunteering for. All right. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you popping in. Well, I'm pretty sure he was going to say always a pleasure because he's always a gentleman. Other departments that I definitely know that we need some more hands for that are not able to pop in and speak for their own departments. Our charity events department needs some folks there to help with the charity auction and art show this year. So if you are interested in volunteering for the charity auction, charity events department, please do reach out to us. Let us know. We would ideally like about 3 volunteers for that. We're going to be doing the auction as we have in the past, plus we're adding a couple fun little charity events as well to our programming that will be marked on our digital program as well as our physical program at the show. I know that we are also looking for a full someone who can help with the website, a webmaster slash more social media folks. So if you have a passion for designing websites or doing that good old social media thing in this wacky and wonderful time of changing social media platforms, please let us know. You can select that on the volunteer application as well. We have both webmaster and social media as 2 separate departments. As Jeremiah mentioned earlier, the tea room definitely needs more staff. So if you're a people person and you enjoy hanging out around delicious teas and nibbles all day long, which who doesn't, definitely fill out the form for the tea room. And I believe we are also looking for some folks who can staff our info services desk. Just the area where we're going to have our maps, our programs, and general information about the show. Someone who can sit there and give directions. We'll also likely have our little scavenger hunt books at that table as well for people to pick up so that they can do the scavenger hunt throughout the weekend as well. I believe there's always opportunities in any of the other departments. I know there's 1 or 2 openings with guest services. There's 1 or 2 openings with tech ops. So anybody who is interested in joining us this year, please fill out the form. You can select up to 3 departments that you're interested in, and then our volunteer coordinator will reach out once your application is approved and assign you to an official, give you an official assignment. At that point, you can talk to your director and get the lowdown for CONpossible 2025, Travel Beyond the Veil. So I've been checking real quickly the general chat and the various chat rooms to see if there was any questions from any potential new volunteers. I don't see anything just yet, but if anybody has a question for us about CONpossible, about what it means to be a volunteer, anything at all, please feel free to drop a question in the chat room and I will answer it right now. I'll give you just a couple moments repeating some of that information I mentioned before. First-year volunteers, it is a $20 ticket fee for your full weekend pass. That's just for first-year volunteers. And then every year after that, that's a one-time fee. So after that, your badge is comped going forward. You also get our custom 2025 lapel pin. Last year's was the glow in the dark, the jungles of Venus. Obviously, this year we're going to do something exciting for Travel Beyond the Veil as well. You get that dead dog party Sunday night, as well as access to the tea room all weekend long for tea and nibbles. And there are a couple things that we're hoping to add on for our returning volunteers, like a volunteer appreciation event. But details on that are TBD. So please definitely, if you're watching this later and you have questions, send them to us via the form, send them to us via email, or join our Discord server. The closer that we do get to the event, the more that we use our Discord server just to hang out, to chat, but also that's where we like to coordinate with our team on site. So if you are a user of Discord, you can find the join link to it at our link tree. Or if you go to our website, there's the join link up in the top right-hand corner of the screen as well, so that you can join our Discord server. All right, I'm doing just another quick pass, and I don't see any questions or comments from anybody. Just a note that that the media track under programming is looking for at least one volunteer to help out with panels who's interested in learning more about how to run programming. So if that's something that you're interested in, again, that would be the programming main on our volunteer form, and then just say you're interested in the media track, working with our lovely media track director, Darren. So I just want to take a moment out to thank everybody for tuning in with us. We were so hopeful we were going to be able to see everyone at the Sonesta, give some hugs and hang out a little bit, because it's always so much easier to chat with folks after the meeting. But unfortunately, we just, with the snow still on the roads, we just didn't think it was prudent. So we got virtual only this year, but of course, you know, at least it's something. At least we get to see everybody's faces and kind of introduce ourselves to all of you. So thanks again for tuning in, for joining us. If you have any questions, let us know, and we will hope to see you at CONpossible 2025. It's scrolling on the bottom here. Travel Beyond the Veil, February 7th to the 9th at the Sonesta Gwinnett Place, Atlanta. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all, and hope to see you soon.